And Abraham was very rich in cattle, in silver, and in gold. This word came from deceit. It was an appeasement that Pharaoh made available to him when God went to accost Pharaoh. And this Pharaoh he was accosting was because of an unfaithful servant that lied. But God was faithful. It was the servant that was faithless. The man accepted to come out of his backsliding state, but he came well on a lie. Are you there? Next verse. And he went on his journeys from the south, even to Bethel, to the place where his tent had been at the beginning between Bethel and Ai. Where is that place? The place of the altar. So even when he was being restored from his backsliding state, restoration means you kindle your altar. To backslide means you left the place of your altar. You can still be speaking in tongues and you are still singing in the choir, but the moment you leave the place of your altar, that's the definition of backslide. You begin to operate by the flesh, and your relationship with God is going to be strained. When God was restoring him, well, how did God restore him? He restored him back to his altar. Guess what he did when he came back to the altar? Next verse. Unto the place of the altar which he had made at the first, and there Abraham did what? Do you remember when he came to this place in Bethel? All he was doing was calling on the name of the Lord. He had to return back to that practice. Stay there and be calling him. Don't be so creative and you take off like a tornado. Say, me, what I read is mining, and I should be where the gold is. Where in Kumasi, you backslide. Stay on the altar. So when I finished my youth service, in fact, for the whole youth service, I fasted throughout, seeking the face of God. We were doing 6 hours prayer daily, because I knew that my life was going to come out of that relationship that I was developing with God. Do you know I was praying like 6 hours, 4 hours, and then on Saturday we do 8 to 4. That's how many hours? 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. That's how many hours? 8 hours. So we're doing 8 hours on Saturdays, 4 hours sometimes, 6 hours, at least a minimum of 4 hours every day. God did not speak to me about what he had for me. My youth service finished. Who told you that God operates with your calendar? If you have not heard God and you take off like a tornado, you have backsliding. Because that thing you are going to do is not a strategy you got from the altar. I went on break during Christmas, came back again and continued the prayer on the 13th of January the next year. That was the day God sent an angel to me. Are you there? Yes, sent an angel to me for the first time in my life. Now, your encounter with God doesn't need to be that dramatic, but I'm just telling you my own story. The angel came to me and said that I should depart and go to Kano, where I serve. That's northern Nigeria. Those were the days when there was rioting. The Muslims were rioting in the north. Nobody wants to stay in the north. But the angel of the Lord came to me and said, go back to the north. He said, it was youth service you finished, not my business. And I said, what am I going to be doing in the north? You see, the angel doesn't have details. He only has a message that God sent him today. I told my family that God was sending me to the north. My mother said, over her dead body, that her husband just died. Now her son is saying he's going to the north. The same angel went and appeared to my mother in the dream. I said, your own days are numbered. If this my man doesn't go. My mother came and said, she's not holding me. I said, okay. Because what Mani taught us, that do not violate physical authority in the name of trying to obey God. Yes, we were taught. I said, Lord, it's in your hand. She came and released me reluctantly because she was disciplined. Then I went back to Kano. Continued. We're doing 6 hours, 6 hours, 6 hours, 6 hours, 6 hours, 6 hours. I did that for 8 months. And then 4 angels come to me. That was how my life started. They said, you will not go into full-time ministry now. You shall be given a job. And you will invest in many destinies, and a great network shall be formed. Then I did not know what network was. This was on the 20th of October 2002. I have them documented. You will not go into full-time ministry. I say, I'm not asking for a job. When I was on campus, you didn't allow me to finish school. You were appearing. I almost left school in 300 level. It's the elders that called me and said, we know there's fire in your bones. If you cannot finish this chemistry, everybody will believe you are a failure. I went back. I went and labored. I labored. The fire will come. I will speak in tongues, but I will still organic chemistry. I will still follow it. I'll still follow it. In the night, I'll be reading scriptures. People did not know that the only way the fire will lead me to read chemistry was that I will read how many chapters? I've forgotten. I finished Bibles. I finished many of them. When I've read the number of chapters, then the fire will allow me to read chemistry. So people will be wondering, what is it theology this guy is doing or is doing? They didn't know. I read those chapters, then read chemistry. Read the chapters, read chemistry. I graduated. Then I now told God, went on youth service, I said, I have graduated. Where are you? He didn't come for 2 years. I was still on the altar. May you not become wise and you decide to take off like a tornado without allowing your altar speak. I stayed there for 2 years. It was in October the next year that God now gave me direction. See, you will not go into full-time ministry. Now, I will give you a job. I said, I'm not looking for a job. The angels did not know more than what they were sent to tell. I'll give you a job. And you will invest in many destinies. You will not believe that I did not apply for that job. If I tell you that my name came out on a list for a job that I did not apply for, you will say I'm lying. But that is the truth. I didn't apply for it. My brother called me. I was in the wilderness in Kano preaching the gospel. They called me. Those were the days when cell phone came out. They called somebody that had a phone. And they connected me. Your name has come out somewhere. Come and do interview. I said, I did not apply for. He says, your name. It's your name. I had only one suit. It was white. I wore it. It was my crusade suit from the wilderness. Oh, we are from the north. We are not looking for money. It's Jesus. We want to die for Jesus. So I wore my crusade suit and came to Abuja. Everybody was studying. I was the only one that did not know what to study. I said, what is happening here? So one woman came out, read the names of the people on the list. My name was on number 143. I went there. I checked it. It was my name. They said, can you identify yourself? I brought my ID card, showed them the mark. So I'm here. Okay. I sat down. I saw one guy, asked him, what course did you read? He said, he read the industrial chemistry. I became happy. He said, I read chemistry. Because they called us out, they called me, called the guy and called two other guys, put us in the bus, took us to the actual place of the interview. This place was just a pool where the people would come. Took us to that place. So I now wanted to collect the guys, the things he was reading, so that I could refresh my memory. The guy warned me and said, don't even try it. Yeah. So I didn't read anything. We now enter. 3 men were sitting on the seat. Their spectacles were on their nose. You know those kind of men. So this one they asked that guy. I said, what did you read? You read industrial chemistry. They asked him a question. And I know that one. He failed. He began to stammer. Then those men now put their strength. They now pointed me and said, you, what did you read? I said, chemistry. Say, okay, yes, you know chemistry. Answer that man's question. You know, I can speak English a little. All the English I know, I compressed it. When I finished speaking, those old men, they now do like, I passed. That my man failed. Not because he was not reading. Me, I'm coming from an altar. It's an altar. Continue reading. When men that have raised altars come, you will bow out. That was how the prophecy that the angel gave me began to come to pass before my very eyes. Now, I have many encounters with God. In fact, when we went we were holding the retreat because of this meeting, I was having encounters. But there is a type of encounter that I can come publicly and declare. Not just these normal ones I had. You are not with me. Not these normal ones. The type I will come out and declare is those type that angels bring. Those type that angels bring, they cannot change. I speak in parables. If you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying. I know you have many encounters. Don't wake up and begin to say, okay, this thing will happen. It will not. It will not happen. I know the type that will happen. Those words began to play out before my eyes. I was given employment for a job I did not qualify for. We came on the job, they tested all of us. We were 120 in my department. When they marked the results, they promoted 3 of us. I was one of the 3. They said this one's performed better than the rest. They upgraded us instantly above our mates and gave us units. So I knew that those words were steadfast. That the next thing that was going to happen is that God would demand the setting up of a network. And trust me, I didn't know what a network was. So I walked for a few years. After walking for a few years, the angel came again. And the angel said, you have been sent to a city called Makodi. Are you with me? That was where I was born. So I know the city. And I don't like the city because it's too hot. And I know colder cities. I mean, I sweat a lot. So I know colder cities that would have been convenient for me. Are you there? They now said they were going to post us out. People were lobbying, giving money, doing all kinds of things to influence posting. I said, God, if it is you that spoke to me, without influencing the posting, let my name come out in Makodi. And I saw that there were some ladies that loved, they are from Benue State, so they like my Makodi. They have gone to beg. I didn't meet anybody. When the list came out, my name was on Makodi. It's okay. We reported. When we reported, I used 1 year to fast and pray and say, Lord, is this the time to start this network you spoke about? I did 1 year of prayers on the altar. He did not speak. So I wanted to start a meeting in January. He said, no, add 100 days of fasting. Those 100 days brought it to March. That's how we started. We'll organize a meeting like this. I'll come and teach. I will teach the Bible. Then we'll intercede. That was all. We started with 78 people. We began to move. It never went down. It never went below 78. Move. Even when Satan came, we were interceding. We intercede for 1 month. We'll come out for 3 days and hold a conference. We intercede for 1 month. We'll come out every day, every night. Come out for 3 days, hold a conference. Before you knew it, the land began to open. And that land is hard. I don't have time. Kept going. Satan got angry, raised people in the office to punish me, raised people everywhere to punish me. I went back to him. He said, who gave you that job? I said, it's you. You told me about the job 4 months before they created the office. So you are the one I should bow down to. Say, okay, go back. The people that wanted to frustrate me, he frustrated all of them. I've seen a situation in the office where 30 people said they were going to take me down. I went to him for 3 days. Hey, men have risen. He took 30 men down. One claimed that I would never preach if I'm under him. I went to him and said, we have a man here. He removed him. He removed him. I said, don't kill him, just promote him away. They promoted him and moved him far away. One said he was going to fail me. That the ending of this year, you will fail. He will fail. 2 weeks to the assessment, they sacked him. And then the person that came promoted 9 of us, and I was among. I climbed from the bottom to the top. How did I go up? By altar. Are you there? 2 weeks for me to become a manager. Jesus appears to me and said, resign. Yes, I'm telling you. And I told him, don't you want a manager to be in your service? Is that not a good thing that your son is a manager? You know how he told me? He said, when will your passport expire? I said, 28th of September 2020. Say your job expires that same day. Clear. I resigned on the 5th of October 2020. Are you there? Now, after resignation, I came back and we're praying. Is in that prayer, the anointing that has taken me to all the nations you have seen me go came that day. It came because I obeyed and resigned. Today, where God has put me, I don't need to tell you. I am here by altar.